Kenner Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back Collection.
It's a Bespin Guard. Halt, strangers. Take us to Lando Calrissian. Follow me.
From Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection. Action figures each sold separately.
I'm Lando. Who's there? Han Solo on a mission with a rebel soldier. What's your mission? We're fighting the Empire, and we need your help.
Han Solo, Rebel Soldier, Lando Calrissian, and Bespin Guard, each sold separately. From Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection. New from Kenner.
An all-terrain walker. It's invaded Hoth.
From Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection. New Hoth ice planet that you put together. You can make the elevator go up or down.
Halt!
New Imperial Stormtrooper, Rebel Soldier, and Han Solo action figures each sold separately.
Get him, Han.
When you push the action lever, Stormtrooper falls.
Now's my chance to sneak in. I'll cover you with the radar laser cannon.
Hoth Ice Planet from Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection. Action figures each sold separately. New from Kenner.
We gotta knock out the commandos. Come on.
From Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection. Imperial attack base that you put together.
Stormtroopers behind that gun.
Chewbacca, Han Solo, and Imperial Stormtrooper action figures each sold separately. You can press the ice levers to pretend the mine explodes.
Okay. Yeah.
And make the bridge fall.
That was close. Commandos in sight. Fire. Nice job.
Imperial attack base from Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection. Action figures each sold separately. From Kenner.
Activate meditation chamber.
From Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection, Darth Vader's Star Destroyer that you put together. Batteries not included.
Darth Vader's stronger now. He's got moves.
Luke Skywalker. Action figures each sold separately. You can slide the viewing screen, turn Darth on the command bridge, and make Luke escape through the hidden hatch.
Test the laser cannon. We gotta find Luke. Come on.
Darth Vader's Star Destroyer from Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection. Action figures each sold separately. From Kenner.
TIE fighter attack. Sound battle alert.
It's Millennium Falcon. You have to put it together. And an Imperial TIE Fighter. Batteries for each not included.
Fire laser. Secure the ship. Let's get out of here.
Ships and Han Solo action figure all sold separately.
He's on my tail. Hang on. Uh-oh. He hit an asteroid. I got him. Yeah.
Imperial TIE Fighter, Millennium Falcon, and action figure all sold separately. From Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection.
Yoda, AT-AT Driver, 41 action figures from Kenner's Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back Collection, each sold separately.
You can send for this new action figure survival kit free with 5 proofs of purchase from any Empire Strikes Back action figures. 12 accessories like Hoth backpack that fits on action figures sold separately. Offer expires May 31st, 1981. Details on specially marked packages at participating stores. Yoda, AT-AT Driver, and other action figures each sold separately from Kenner's Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back Collection.
Your set must be quick. Your action, sure.
Yoda Puppet and the Force Lightsaber, each sold separately.
As you move your lightsaber, the sound of the Force moves with you. It can be a powerful friend. That is your first lesson. Learn it well. The Force isn't my lightsaber. The Force is in all things, even you, my young Jedi.
The Force Lightsaber and new Yoda Puppet, each sold separately. From Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection. From Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection, it's Tauntaun.
My mission is urgent.
Tauntaun has removable reins and saddle. Action figures each sold separately.
Hail, Rebel Soldier! Han Solo, help! Luke Skywalker's in danger.
Tauntaun's front and hind legs move.
Luke's okay. I found him. Our mission's complete.
Tauntaun from Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection. Action figures each sold separately. From Kenner.
Laser guns, test firing. Release landing gear.
From Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection, it's Rebel Armored Snowspeeder. Batteries not included.
You got my message.
C-3PO and Rebel Soldier action figures each sold separately.
We'll get you to safety. The Empire forces. We've got to escape.
Snowspeeder has laser guns with sound and light action.
Got 'em. Back to the Rebel base.
Rebel Armored Snowspeeder from Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back Collection. Action figures each sold separately. From Kenner. From Kenner. Kenner Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back collection. Millennium Falcon that you put together. Batteries not included.
Nice landing, Han Solo. Uh-oh, come on, Chewbacca. Stormtroopers are coming.
Action figures each sold separately.
Got him on radar. I'll fire the laser cannon.
There's even a hidden storage hatch.
Ready for takeoff. To light speed. We're gone. On to the Death Star.
Millennium Falcon from Kenner Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back collection. Action figures each sold separately.
Intruders in Cloud City. Touchdown and investigate.
From Kenner Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back collection. Twin Pod Cloud Car.
Bespin Guard, who is she? I'm Princess Leia. I'm being followed, Lando. Quick, get in.
Lando Calrissian and other action figures each sold separately. You can open and close both cockpits and push the landing gear up.
Don't worry, they'll never catch you now.
Twin Pod Cloud Car from Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back collection. Action figures each sold separately. From Kenner.
Hey everybody, welcome to Choking Hazard. I hope my audio is working. Brad, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. What's happening?
Not much, man. Just enjoying my Thursday evening.
Crystal
in the
is
man cave.
so Brad is filling in this week. We've been gone for a few weeks. We've been out of town.
You went to a couple cons, right?
Doing some conventions. Let's see, we were in Anaheim. We went sold some stuff at Collecticon, which was kind of a alt lifestyle, I guess, kind of con. But I mean, people still like nerdy stuff no matter what your lifestyle is. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, not bad. All con.
Well, and then you guys came by here.
Yeah, that was when we stopped by, and I got to see your for the first time. Your what do you want? I hate the term man cave, but
Yeah, I don't like man cave. I always say nerd cave or
yeah,
yeah.
your
It's
nerd cave.
definitely- Yeah, it's barely manly.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't
Because,
know.
I mean, well, I mean, like men aren't the only ones that collect toys. I mean, obviously, right? Crystal's like huge,
Right.
So
Yeah, no, she's got. I'm looking at all of her. She collects a lot of the Disney princess. I don't want to say Barbies, but they're kind of like Barbies.
yeah, Barbie-esque.
Dolls. Yeah, and I know. Well, D23 was over the weekend. Did you go to that?
No, I've never been. I never am in tune with when that is. It looks
Yeah.
cool. I mean, I definitely would go sometime, but I guess
I mean,
yeah, I don't know how easy it is to get tickets or anything.
not easy. Because she wanted to go, and well, as it turned out, we were in Portland last weekend, so we weren't able to do it. But yeah, we looked into tickets. It sold out super fast, and now because Disney owns literally everything. It's even, it's like another hotspot to see. It's like, how many new Star Wars things were announced and trailers were dropped.
Right.
They finally dropped the Mandalorian season 3 trailer to the
Yep.
regular people.
Yeah. Indiana Jones.
They showed a trailer or teaser, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, it hasn't been released, and no, I haven't seen any leaked videos of it. So I'm assuming
Yeah.
they were pretty tight-lipped about it. Is getting the tickets similar to Comic-Con, where it's just like they open it up for a select short time, you have to be on it like that second?
I think it's kind of like that, yeah, or like
Yeah.
Celebration even at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it may be like people that are part of whatever their Disney club is,
Right.
get early access too, I think, because I know somebody who used to work for Disney, and I know she was saying like she used to go all the time when she lived on the West Coast. She's over in Florida now, but I don't think she went, but yeah, she said it was always like she used to go grab tickets early. But I mean, they announced a ton of stuff. I mean, there was, like you said, well, they showed a teaser of Indiana Jones to some people. I saw a kind of description of it. The people and reactions, I read a bunch of reactions on Twitter, and everybody said it looks amazing. So,
I mean, they really can't do any worse than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull,
right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, I really do hope they pull it out. I mean, it's funny because growing up, I never liked Temple of Doom, so I think I've seen it maybe 4 or 5 times, and so it's always been one of those things I can just put out of my head. So I like Raiders and I like Last Crusade.
Yeah.
So Lucas kind of set me up from the get-go as a child to be able to discern what I like and not freak out about it, not cry and bitch and moan and
right. And make a whole South Park episode about it.
I'm getting raped on a pinball machine.
Evidently there's some little like I don't think they give anything away, but like because they put it in the teaser for the people that saw it, some de-aging process, so there may be some flashback stuff.
Yeah, I'd seen, well, they'd shown maybe like a year ago the markers on him as they were, and they had kind of alluded to it, and he was like in a Nazi uniform. So I'm assuming there's either flashbacks or there might be things that take place, which is interesting because I wonder, did you see the outfit that looks like Totes? The black overcoat, and the guy had that. They had it at D23.
Oh no, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, so I mean, they showed the costumes, and one of them looked like Tote, the Nazi officer with the glasses.
Yeah,
I wonder if maybe he's in it as a CGI,
maybe
or what do you call it, deep fake or something.
Right. Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. It's like there was this period where they messed up a bunch of movies, and they're kind of like doing better now. So maybe they'll be better.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of Indiana Jones.
Yes. What you got there?
So this is the newest Stan Solo Marion card. You can actually see it's a bit glossier than.
It is pretty glossy, yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny because again, some photos it doesn't look glossy, and others it does, but it's actually. It's glossier than normal. Like, I mean,
yeah,
but the figure is freaking amazing.
Yeah, I saw you posted because you have the original in the package.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's in my case.
Yeah, you don't have to dig it out. That's all right. But yeah,
I mean, because it's really, I mean, the comparisons are I can tell you right now, there's huge differences in the card. Not just the way the type of card it is, but I mean, so that the thickness is good. The glossy, it's too glossy. He changed the verbiage up here.
Oh.
It says movable head, and on the real one it says articulated.
Oh.
And
that's interesting because he's pretty good about making things spot on.
I wonder if it was whoever did the card for him did it. Maybe just read it, and in his memory is like, oh, it's movable instead of articulated. And then on the back, it does say Stan Solo from like Made in Hong Kong, Stan Solo, and then over here It says DO instead of M. It should say have an M right there. You can see how glossy it is.
Yeah,
It's almost like photo glossy.
Right.
You know, so I mean, for someone who doesn't want to spend, because like if you bought this as a real card, what, probably $3,000?
Yeah,
you know?
thousands for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
the figure loose complete is probably like pushing 1,000 at least at this point.
I'd say if it's in mint condition with the stand,
And the
which
monkey?
this doesn't come with the stand.
Oh.
So he didn't make the clear stand. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff, which I mean, again, I'm fine with, you know.
But yeah, but what'd you pay for that?
I want to say it was like 70.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. I think that the loose figure is like 50. But yeah, like I mean, like you said, like a loose mint complete with the stand, the monkey, I would say is probably 600 to 800 pretty easily.
Yeah, I want to say, because I stumbled upon this in the store at Rogue Toys. This show is sponsored by Rogue Toys. Well, not really, but kind of. I was digging through the back, and I came across a bunch of indie figures like in the bottom of a Star Wars case, and it was that one. It was I think Indiana Jones, and there was a few others, but you know, she had the monkey, and I think somebody picked it up like immediately for like $600. So
wow.
You know, it was in good shape. You know, good shape.
Just this last year, I'm always on eBay, but I randomly searched 1980 toy lot, and just one popped up, and it was 2 Marions, a Clash of the Titans Calibos like mint, and like a few swords and a couple shields and stuff like that. Anyways, and he had it listed for like $100 starting bid, and I just emailed or messaged him like, would you take 200 right now? And he did. So wow. I got 2 Marions. I'm sorry. So one was complete with the monkey. One was not, didn't have the dress. I sold that one without the dress for $150.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, and then the Calibos was like a $75 figure and stuff like that. I mean, it was. Yeah. I mean, it's probably one of the best scores I've ever had. So there's deals out there if you just are diligent.
If you find the person who doesn't know what they have,
and then you don't tell them, and then you just take it for yourself.
I mean, it's eBay. You're gonna buy it, right? You're looking for those deals. So all right. So speaking of Stan Solo, I got one today.
Oh, okay. What are we looking at?
I picked up the
nice, the Leia.
The Slave Leia. Or
how's that card?
Jabba Slayer. You know, it feels pretty good. It's pretty shiny. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it. I happen to have a vintage Pat Blue right here.
How's it compare?
I'm looking at the back. There's a lot. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of gloss on there.
So here's my theory.
This is the original, like, you know, kind of glossy. You can see.
Right.
Here's the Stan Solo. You can definitely see the difference, right?
Yeah, and you can see that indentation of where
you can see the indentation where they did it right there.
Same on this. You can see that indentation like right there.
I mean, I can't complain. It feels pretty close. It's maybe a tiny bit thicker. Because like this is the original, I can, you know, it's pretty. This one's a little bit.
They're better than the retro collection thickness.
Yeah, which, you know, I could pull one off the board here. Let me grab one. Retro. Here's a retro IG-88, which are, well, I mean, honestly,
about the same.
This is an original vintage Paplu, and this is a retro. It's a little bit thinner on this one, but I mean, pretty close.
Well, so my theory is, and I think I'm pretty spot on, is that so he had problems finding a new distributor or new printer for the card backs because of his issues between Fan Strikes Back and him. So I think him just being able to get card backs made is this is, because his old card backs were fantastic. I think
Oh.
he's just having an issue trying to get them done. So
yeah, and I thought about that too. And no one wants to print anything that looks copyrighted and things like
Right.
that. I'm looking at. I literally like just opened this and then came up here. I didn't really even look at it because I just got home. We have another con this weekend. But yeah, like the main photo is a little fuzzy, like this one.
yeah.
And the back is a little fuzzy. You know what, while we're at it. So I've also made some figures and made some card backs, which now I want, because I bought his because I wanted to actually compare.
Your color looks better, I think, right? The back.
This is mine.
Yeah.
Which is also pretty shiny.
No, but I think your color looks more spot on. His is the yellow is a little kind of drabby.
This is mine. This is his. This is an original Paplu.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
It is a little draggy. It is a little drabby though. This is Stan Solo. This is an original.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's probably a little bit bright actually.
Yeah.
But I will say this, looking at it, and you probably can't tell, my images are way sharper than his.
Yeah, I wonder if he.
This is mine. I don't know if you can see any of that.
Yeah, that's pretty crisp.
And this is his.
Yeah, you can tell.
And I know you have some of his in hand. I can see, like, just looking at, like, say the Imperial Dignitary, for example. His face is pretty gray on his. And this one doesn't have it on here.
So where did you source your card?
I scanned one.
I
scanned my own, and then went through and cleaned up, scratches and whatnot that were on there. But I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he puts a lot of time into the card backs because, again, I think he went through a time where he didn't think he was going to get any card backs made. And I don't know what his sales were like. I think a lot of people just want the loose anyways.
I wondered about that too. The only reason I made mine with card backs is because I just kind of wanted to see if I could do it.
Totally.
I did Spirit Ghost. Yeah, I think I showed off the figures a few episodes back. So I've got, Yoda, which the blisters I got from Empire Blisters, which are pretty good, but I didn't really have a good option for Yoda, so he's kind of he's kind of gonna bounce around in there a little bit.
Are those the ones with the LEDs in them?
No, these are just straight up regular ones.
Okay.
But the blisters are pretty good. He's got like a generic. They're not quite as rounded as I would like,
right,
on the edges, but he charges like between 60 cents and $1 per blister. Like,
that's not bad.
Not bad.
What do you use to adhere it? PVA?
Mod Podge.
Mod Podge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that seems to be working all right. Although I noticed one of them fell off in here, so I have to look at that again. But they seem to be pretty good on there.
I think you just weight them down.
Yeah, I put like a whatever. Like, I just happen to have like a candle in the kitchen. I just put the jar on there.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could probably get 3D print a little
I could
surround thing.
Yeah, I probably could. Yeah, I mean just or whatever. But I did the the 2 pages and sticky what do you call it, spray mount.
Right.
On a piece of cardboard. And I went through several different kinds of cardboard till I decided that this one is pretty close to what this is. This again, the original Paplu. And this one's pretty close. And it's a cereal box.
Yeah, well, makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, they probably sourced something similar when they were, when they made them originally. I mean, did you buy a punch for it?
I did. I bought a punch for the edges. I didn't punch it. That's just Photoshop. Yeah. I didn't actually punch it.
I think they sell ones that are that shape.
They do, and I probably have one. I just didn't punch it because I didn't want to actually punch it. But yeah, I mean it's pretty close. We're gonna have those in the store. They're all pretty much done. Just a run of 3 right now. I did buy a box because I initially wanted to do the 3-pack box, but It comes from the UK and it costs like $80.
So did you? I remember we talked about it. Did you actually end up buying it?
I did buy it, yeah.
Okay.
What's probably going to happen is that's going to be mine. And
Yeah.
I'm going to put my own guys in there and put it on the shelf because there's no way anybody is going to pay like, $80. I mean, I don't even know if he had more because I asked him, he's got a website. I don't know, it escapes me right now what the name of it.
It's Replicator Boxes something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I asked him, I said, hey, I saw that you make this Force Ghost box. I saw it on Facebook. Someone had it, and that's how I found you. But I don't see it on your website. And he's like, oh, yeah, we got one on eBay. So I went over to eBay, and they had one. And I'm like, okay, because I was thinking, like, maybe I'll buy, like, a few and then combine shipping, and it won't be as bad. But they had, like, one. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to keep buying, like, one at $80 and take, like, a month to get here. And put these up on the shelf and charge like $200. Nobody's gonna buy that for $200.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they will. Someone will. I don't know. But
it's the custom market is kind of fickle depending on.
Yeah.
Star Wars is kind of outplayed right now, and I mean the Indiana Jones stuff. I've made a few customs, and people are willing to pay a lot of money for figures that haven't been made before.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough with the Star Wars because a lot of people are just making their own, or but.
Yeah. Well, now everybody
that's why I think the little ones are cool.
You can pick up a 3D printer for a few $100 and you can do it yourself. And like everybody's got files everywhere, and that's cool. Whatever. I mean, I'm doing my own kind of thing with that too. So
totally.
Yeah.
Have you sold any of those little ones, the half scale ones?
These ones here.
Yeah.
No, I haven't even put them out yet. So they kind of got put on the back burner a little bit just because. Moved on to other things, but
you get bored and moved on.
Well, yeah, and plus, like the Chewbacca ones. The thing is, like, the painting is so horrible. Like, it's so tiny, it's hard to get that little detail. And they're like, this one actually turned out all right.
Yeah, Wicket
and Chewbacca is not too bad, but Wicket, like, I actually printed. His hood is a little flexible hood.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, so like, if you pulled him out of there, you could take that hood off of him and whatever. So. I mean, that's a couple of projects. Chewbacca ones. I mean, he's not too bad. He looks a little like he's
The color looks good. That's what I'm impressed with.
Oh, the color of Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I spent a good part of the day mixing colors to get the right color for Chewbacca, and then I also had like 3 Chewbaccas, and each one of them, like an original, Kenner Chewbacca. Each one of them was slightly different than the other one. So I'm like,
so you have the file for Chewbacca?
Yeah.
Have you thought about printing like Mala, his wife, and Itchy and
Scratchy, changing the heads a little bit or something?
Yeah, just because. So like Kenner had prototypes done that were just basically Chewbacca's with like added stuff on him, and then some with like different pages. You should look into that because like I think people would totally buy those.
Oh, I'm sure they would. There's a guy I get a lot of files from on Cults 3D, and he's like got his own Etsy thing where he sells his own prints, but he sells the files too. I might mention that to him because he does some custom stuff. It's pretty good. He's got a scanner. He's been scanning a lot of the old figures, and he does a pretty good job. I've been scanning some of them for myself, just making extra stormtroopers or whatever, just to add to my dioramas and things. But maybe I'll mention to him like, hey, what about these guys? I'm sure he's been pretty responsive when I message him. Maybe I'll look into that and see. I did a couple more Stan Solo things. I picked up the Han Stormtrooper from Foxfire on eBay. Had him.
Yeah, he's his US seller.
One of them, yeah. That John Kelly guy's his other one.
Yeah.
But I had missed out on the. I think you have this guy though, right?
Yeah, I have him. I had him carded, but I ended up selling the carded one.
The Han.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was cool. I definitely liked it. It just I don't know. I kind of get a thing where I have it and then I'm like, it's not original. So even though the loose one's badass.
No, I mean this is a Stan Solo Luke replica.
Yeah.
And this is the Han one, which they never made the Han though, right?
No, they didn't. It's like why?
Like why?
why not? You know, I mean,
Right.
you always wanted those with the Death Star playset.
Yeah, right. No, and I wonder if like they were going to, but then that final 17 never really
Well, I mean, that's the
got
thing is
off.
the
I
final
guess.
17 barely makes sense, because you have the Death Star
Oh
gunner
yeah,
in there. You have Luke. You have I mean, a dignitary, but I mean, who else
a
is in
man, a
there?
man.
Man, a man.
EV99. No, like who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah, and supposedly, really, it's like with the last 15 because I think what Poplu or Ramba or one of those came out on Return of the Jedi,
Yeah,
as did the B-wing pilot.
yeah. Those are pretty terrible characters. Now that you think about
Yeah,
it, they're really. Yeah, why do those? There's so many others that you could
yeah,
do.
yeah.
One of the ones that I did print out, and I haven't painted him up yet, and I haven't made the card yet. Was working on this guy
Oh yeah,
because I've got the skiff, and I've got some. Well, not the. I don't have the original skiff, but they released that other one.
yeah. The 97 or whatever it was.
Oh no, I mean they just did like a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
They re-released it again. Yeah, so like I've got that, and then I just threw some Kenner figures up on there, and I'll probably do one of these too. I don't know, and I'm like in this zone of making these card backs. So like but I'm also like, what am I gonna do with these?
Yeah, I mean the card backs. That's the thing is I think a lot of people just are, unless they're really well done by like Stan Solo, and even him. I think he's probably having a harder time selling the card back ones than.
Yeah, and I don't know who wants those. Like I was gonna, Crystal was like she ordered for me some of the spirit ghosts, force ghosts, and I'm like, cool. Like I'm like, do you really want packaging? Like, because I can figure that out, but I feel like the people that want these are just gonna stick them in their Ewok village with their setup. But
you may want to think about doing custom like those miniature boxes. Like the kind of like the size of the mailaways. Like this size with a cutout where you can see the figure.
Yeah. What's in that box?
Nothing. This was the Belloc box.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I the same place where I got the blisters is now selling clamshell packet. Not blisters, but like you can put the whole piece in there. You can put the whole thing with the card in there, or you can put like your loose figure with your loose card in there. So what I might do for the loose figures is make the card, put it in there, and then put the loose figure in there, and people can take it out.
Yeah.
Do what they want with it.
Oh yeah. No, I think I've seen those card backs.
If they want to, if they want a card, they can have the card, and if they don't have to rip it off then and do the whole thing. So Paul is in the chat room. Tony's in the chat room. Billy has been super offended that we haven't done a show in 2 weeks. So hey Billy, what's up? Matt Ellis is in there. I know we've been out of town. It's been crazy. We were in Portland last weekend for Rose City Comic-Con. Ran into some droid builders up there, and of course we start talking and showing off each other's droids and everything. So they were super cool. I picked up a few things up there. I'm going to show off some of this since it's show off the things you bought for your collection on the show.
You mean you're not going to ask me what's in the store? What's in the store?
Yeah, what's in the store? Well, I don't know what's in the store because I don't even know. But there was a guy who just like had like 2 or 3 tables and just basically took bins of animation cells and dumped them out, and like he's like go through them and ask me how much, and I'll tell you how much. So, and they were all screen used, and I believe that. I mean, there's markings on them and stuff. So I picked up some. I got a cell from Ewok Animation. I think this was like $5. It was like super cheap. And it's got like the sketch behind it too, although I think it's stuck to it because the paint dried on it. But I can see there's a sketch back there behind it.
That's cool.
Yeah, like I got let's see here. Doc Brown.
Yep.
Which is got the background and the
Is that a laser print background or is that an original background?
No, it's originally painted. Like you can see it's this one. Actually, this one looks like this one looks like it might be a print, but some of the Ewok
backgrounds are super rare.
Yeah, this looks like a print. But I mean the cell is painted. You can see that
Yeah.
it's painted.
Yeah, I have a Doc, I have a Marty, I have a Biff, and I have a DeLorean. So
The DeLorean one. He had some DeLorean ones. And I wanted to buy a DeLorean one, and he was like, "It's like $100." I was like,
yeah.
He said the DeLorean ones are hard. So, I got a RoboCop one.
Oh dang, that's cool.
I mean, these were like $10 or $15. I think Doc Brown was like 40.
Yeah.
Let's see what else I got here. What that is. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, hang on. No, I ended up going. I ended up going back to his table like 3 or 4 times throughout the weekend because I'm like, he just had piles of stuff, and he was kind of like, "Well, tell me what you're looking for. I'll tell you if I have it." And I'm like, "I don't know." Like, I'm just looking at stuff, like, and then I'll see something. I'm like, "That's cool," like Beetlejuice, right?
Oh
Got the
dang, that's
cell.
cool.
This is painted right here. This
Is it really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
This is an
Dude,
original back.
that background is probably worth more. Definitely worth. What'd you pay for that?
$60.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. No, and
That's
it's
crazy.
like
That's an
the
original
back
background. Yeah, that's
no, you can see that it's painted. It's I don't know if you can tell from the.
that's cool.
That's not a print. Like I don't know if the back has like scribbles on it and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You should source what episode that's from.
Yeah, he had a bunch of he had a bunch of stuff, like bunches and bunches of stuff. Star Trek, G.I. Joe, He-Man, She-Ra, like so many things. I got a lot of the Ewok ones.
The Ewoks, yeah. Did you get any G.I. Joes, or were those expensive?
They were a little more expensive. I mean,
Yeah.
this was like $10.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, dude. As the weekend went along, the prices went up. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
I got I got another Ewok.
So are you gonna sell them, or are you gonna frame them? Or
No, I'm gonna frame them up. This one, the sketch is back there.
Gotcha.
It's stuck to it, but it's there. I got this also another Ewok one. Wicket.
That's cool.
This is an original background painted too.
Dang.
Like it's all dirty on the back.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've never watched an episode of the Ewoks or droids.
I maybe saw 1 or 2
Yeah.
as a kid. Again, like that's the back. It's funny. It's like interesting how they paint them.
Yeah,
they paint them like in reverse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I figured he's like, the ones without the backgrounds are like $5-10, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm just, even if I frame them, I'll just, throw some watercolors on a page and put it behind it and frame it, like whatever.
I mean, it's crazy that they got that. Again, those backgrounds are so hard to come by because
Right.
they usually only painted one background for, 100 per 100 cells.
Right. And this one I think was a little bit more, but again, an original background. But
That's cool.
this has like 3 cells with it for this one.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's like,
they're layered.
yeah, there's like the donkey,
Yeah.
whatever that thing is. There's Wicket, and then there's the other 2 Ewoks.
Yeah, if you ever frame those, like the ones that are layered, if you put like a little piece of foam in between them to kind of lift them up.
Oh
in
yeah,
between each other, so it gives that little depth.
little 3D thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
So yeah, I mean, all of that, I spent less than $200 on all of that.
Not bad.
Not bad. And like again, like if I'd spent the time, sorting through all the stuff he had, I would have probably bought more. But
It's funny because I've seen a lot of those things at conventions, but I've never seen a G.I. Joe. This G.I. Joe. I've seen He-Man, I've seen all those, but I've never seen a G.I. Joe one.
He had trying to think what else he had. A lot of Marvel stuff. He had a lot of Marvel cartoons.
Huh.
Pac-Man. Remember the Pac-Man cartoon?
Oh yeah. I love Pac-Man.
He had that out on the table. And I mean, he was just like this kind of scatterbrained dude, and he just had like bins of all of these things, like bins and bins of them, and he just was like, go through them and let me know what you want, or ask me what are you looking for, and I'll tell you.
Sick of toting them around from con to con.
I mean, I tracked him down and like found him on his Facebook page, and he's got like a whole warehouse full of these things, and I was like, where are you getting them? Like, I don't, am I allowed
Well, I
to
think
ask that?
they threw them out.
Yeah, he's like, I got some sources and I just get them. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
like that's Care Bears, and I know Care Bears too. Like a buddy of mine, I used to work at American Greetings, and Care Bears came from American Greetings. That's they
Okay.
invented Care Bears and Mad Balls. And when I was there, they moved from like the building they'd been living in for 100 years or however many to a new building. And when before I was there, my buddy was there before me. He's like, yeah, when they moved, they were just throwing out bins of these Care Bear cells, and he's like, I took as many as I could. He's like, I have a box of them. Like, they're just getting rid of it. I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, just collecting that stuff. But I don't know. I thought those were cool. I thought
Yeah, those are really cool.
Some
My
droid
dad's
ones.
like back in the day. I got into cells. My dad, we go to Disneyland every other year or so, and back in like 81 or 82, we down on Main Street in one of the shops. It was where the Penny Arcade is. It was actually an art gallery, but you could literally go in and just thumb through cells on hard cardboard, but they were just like lined up, and then the real expensive ones, or quote unquote expensive ones, were up already framed. But my dad, we actually have a Winnie the Pooh and a Jungle Book. Some of them, it's funny how they price cells, because I have like a Scooby-Doo one, and if the character is like 3/4 posed or straight on, if their eyes are closed, it all affects the value. It's kind of crazy how they.
No, I was thinking about that too. Like this is the first cells I've ever bought, but when I was going through them, like, I bet these are all priced on the things you just mentioned. Like, I was looking for a good Beetlejuice one where his eyes weren't closed and he wasn't turned, and same thing with the Ewoks. He had some C-3PO and droids ones too, but they were, he had them already matted, so I knew that they were already worth more, or he was going to ask more or whatever. But no, it's pretty cool. I got, he has an eBay store, and I looked up some of the ones that I got, and he's charging like twice as much on eBay. So I was like, well, shit, all right, that's cool. But it seems like he has a bunch of stuff. I know I showed you this last time. I don't know if I showed it here, but this was the boss skull. I've kind of put it together.
That's cool.
With little foliage kind of thing. So
it's funny because when you showed me that, and I had to go look at the pictures because I never knew he had ears or horns.
He's got horns. Yeah, you don't think about it. Yeah. And he's all green. So yeah, that'll be. We're gonna Rogue Toys will be at Amazing Con here in Vegas this weekend, so some of those will be there, along with the Mandalorian skulls. What else did I get? I know it's been like a few weeks, but I think that's it. Oh, I did get this a few weeks back as I'm collecting the retro figures. This guy, only available in this board game.
I never got that one.
Yeah, I never got the Tarkin one. I just ordered it off of eBay like yesterday or the day before.
Oh, dude, I had an extra one. If you would have told me, I would have given it to you.
Oh shit! No, I never got that one. Whatever. I mean, I got that, and I got the retro Stormtrooper from the Monopoly game too.
Yeah.
Which is
about that.
I'm buying those retro ones, and I'm like, I got like 5 Stormtroopers downstairs. Like,
but isn't that one like from?
He's like a remnant trooper, yeah.
Remnant trooper, yeah.
You know what? My Stormtroopers look like remnant troopers because they're all yellow and brown. So like,
it reminds me of Tron Legacy, where they're like, well, what's the difference between this one? He's like, we put a 12 on the box.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's, get out of here. Salem, go. My dog is trying to smell the toys and the old smelling animation cells. Get out. Go. Close the door. So that's what's new, I think, as far as my personal collection goes. But
are you in Masters of the Universe, or did that pass you by?
Masters of the Universe was it was happening at the time I was, a kid and getting toys, but that was when my parents were like, you got enough toys, you're not collecting Masters of the Universe too. They're like, you already got Star Wars and you got G.I. Joes and whatever, like, you're not doing that one. So I wasn't heartbroken about that because I never really I just never really liked the way the toys looked.
Agreed. Yeah, me too.
You know?
I like the cartoon, but the playability of them were so limited. You know, they were just
Yeah.
the size, the scale of it. I didn't like it. So I went from Star Wars to GI Joe. But I know there's a lot of people who went from Star Wars to either Transformers or Star Wars to Masters of the Universe. So
Yeah. No, I never did that. And even now, like, you know, I see the new ones and I'm like, oh, they look a lot like the old ones. That's cool. But
yeah,
I'm still not into it. Like, it wasn't, I mean, and like you, I mean, a little unlike you, because you collect stuff that you had from when you were a kid or the
yeah,
repros of what you had as a kid. I'm, I'll find something new and I'll start collecting it. But, um, I never got
yeah.
it, never really cared about those so much. They're also a pain in the ass to repair.
Oh yeah, when you have to replace their hip.
They've got that weird little barbell thing through there.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's funny because I think I'm fortunate that I don't collect anything modern, just because the way I see that the toy industry just fucking with people. It's just, I'd be so pissed. I would have given up halfway through the Black Series and just be like, yeah,
I mean, I
screw it.
kind of did.
Yeah,
I started to get those, and if I see something I really like, I might still get it. I'm not gonna say I won't, but I started to collect those. They look good. I think they look good. And then I had to stop myself and be like, no, no, no. I'm only gonna get droids. I can't
yeah,
collect all of the Black Series. And then even that was like, I stopped doing those too. So I don't think I only thing I'm doing now are the retro ones. And I'm pretty excited about what's going to be in the Jedi retro collection, because that's got to be maybe next, unless they're going to do like Andor or something. I don't know.
right. Because didn't they did Star Wars? They did Empire, but then they never did Return of the Jedi.
Right? They
But
skipped to
next year,
Mando, then Mando Wave 2, then Kenobi.
right? But
So
2023 is the 40th anniversary or
oh,
50th,
maybe that's what they're, yeah,
50th. Is it? Wait, 40th? Yeah, 40th
yeah.
anniversary of Jedi.
They might be waiting for that then.
Yeah.
I did hear rumors about what they were going to be, but I don't remember now what they were. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I'm excited about those, because I've already got all of those. I've got all of the Empire ones and I've got all of the Star Wars ones, but you know, they're still back here on the wall, you know.
Yeah, they look good though. I mean,
I think they're cool.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, that's the thing is like it's as big as my place is. I wish I had more room to do that, where you can actually display them,
yeah.
you know, like on the wall.
It's good and bad. I mean, most of this is just, you know, backdrop for the show.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know if this is where they would normally be if I was going to do it, but also, like, I know I'll back up and I'm like, oh, I'm knocking them down. And whatever.
yeah,
There's not that much space back there.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I like that they're doing those. I think that, I don't know if it's that they saw, hey, you know, people are 3D. What are people 3D printing? What are people selling? How's that going?
Well,
Maybe we should just make those. I don't know.
I mean, it's a little weird that I don't know if you saw one. Like, I think you saw my my Mandalorian vintage retro, you know, figure that Gary did.
Yeah.
And then within 6 months or less than 6 months, they had their own almost identical one.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, he did those, and then there was some others. There's a guy on Cults 3D that was doing them early on too. I'm trying to think. Trying to see if I have one.
But Gary's his card back and their card back were almost virtually identical.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same photo and everything.
Oh wow! No, I didn't notice that. I don't think he's up here. Yeah, because I had 3D printed, you know, some of those Kenner style Mando ones too, which, you know, again, like, we're pretty close as well. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, obviously they can do whatever they want. And
yeah, and they have the IP. So.
Yeah, I mean, Gary can't do much. Even if they stole it from him, they stole it from them first.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
no, it's usually just kind of a funny thing because, you know, like, you know, companies like Hasbro get a lot of shit for not really knowing what the fans want. So you'd think they would just kind of. So it seems like they just kind of watch maybe certain group of people, and then they're like, "Oh shit, let's hurry, let's rush and and make what these guys are selling."
Yeah. No, sure, because we're gonna buy them anyway.
Yeah,
So
I mean, they were smart. They Hasbro would do a line of vintage style Indiana Jones. Of ones that never got released.
Yeah,
those would sell.
I never had any of those, and I'm not that familiar. What were the originals that were released?
So the first wave was Indiana, Marion, Tote, and the Cairo Swordsman. So actually, it's like those dudes.
Okay, weird.
And then they did Belloc in his desert, just white suit. Then they did Sala, and shoot, I have them over there. The German mechanic. Big bald dude.
Yeah.
Is that? There's 9 total. Oh, yeah. Then they did a mail away Belloc in the ceremonial.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
They didn't sell well.
Yeah.
I had the whole run, but they were at my grandma's house. I just never brought them home.
Yeah.
And they were really well done, but no one.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing those ever. And my dad took me to see Raiders of the Lost Ark. My dad was the one who took me to movies. My mom never went, so my dad would just be like, he took me to see Return of the Jedi. That was my first Star Wars movie, and I was all Star Wars pretty much anyway, so I was super hyped about all that. But I don't remember going to the store and seeing, at Kmart or the grocery store and seeing Indiana Jones stuff. I don't ever remember seeing that. It doesn't mean it wasn't there, but I don't remember seeing it, and I don't remember being into it really. I mean, we play Indiana Jones in the backyard. I remember doing that, like with the neighbor kids. We definitely did that. We'd go on adventures or whatever and try to swing from the trees. But I don't. It wasn't that I wasn't into it. I probably would have been like, "Hey, buy me these things too," but I never saw them.
Yeah, they weren't. I mean, I don't remember seeing them in like Toys R Us or Kmart's or anything. But the way where I found it was in a place in Spokane, Washington. It was like a place called the White Elephant, and it was kind of like where things kind of go to die. All the toys
overstock kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's where I got them. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I don't remember those. It's funny too, because like there's some Star Wars stuff that'll come through the store, or I'll see it somewhere, and I'm like, I don't remember that at all. Like I didn't even know they made that, and I feel like, I'm pretty in on it. Tuned into what was what. Like some of the I don't remember them making that skiff initially. But I know they did, but I don't remember.
Yeah, well, because that was like pretty late '85, I think, that they put it out.
Yeah.
So it was pretty late. I mean, and that was towards the end where they started clearancing everything. Because I remember going through and picking up droid stuff. I remember like the droids lightsaber, that's like the tiny one, and then all the coin figures. I remember seeing all the power of the Force and just looking at them going, oh my God. And I remember thinking this, they're just trying to get people to buy this crap. And now those things are, hundreds and hundreds of thousands.
I remember seeing them too. I remember going to Children's Palace, or we had Kitty City too in Cleveland, which sounds very
Kitty City
pedophilia-esque. But their logo was this kangaroo. But I remember seeing them there. Like I remember all those too, and I was like, I remember thinking as a kid, like I was still into it. Like I was still wanted to buy Star Wars. I forever wanted to buy Star Wars figures. But I'm like looking at him going, like what we talked about earlier. Who the fuck is Man? Like, why do I want that? Like, what do I want to do with that? I'm like, give me that Ewok and that Ewok. I'll take those. I like Ewoks. Yeah. That's cool. But like all those other guys, well, I'm like, however old I was, like 7 or 10 or I don't know, whatever. But like, I didn't care. I don't even remember the Imperial dignitary being in the movie. Like,
well, and that's the thing is like. And that back in the day, you couldn't go and really pause it, and look through the movie.
I saw it in the theater. And, there might have been somebody with VHS by then, but like we didn't have it, and I didn't want watching it, so I don't know. And I'm like, Imperial Gunner, where was that guy? I don't remember that guy. Where's B-Wing pilot? What? Like, I have the
Yeah,
B-Wing, but I guess I could get that guy. I don't really care.
yeah,
I'll put whoever in there. You know, when you're a
yeah.
kid,
So
you
I
don't.
remember the Imperial Gunner pretty well, just because because
Yeah.
I think I'm a couple years older than you, but
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it is funny. Like that last 17 is just it's a joke for the most
Yeah.
part, But
You know, so anything like, Luke or recognizable characters were probably already gone off the
right,
shelf, so I didn't see those anyway. So that's why I ended up with like, whoever couple of Ewoks that I got out of that. The only reason I have a Man and EV-99 and Barada is because they came with that
the
play
dungeon,
set. Yeah, the
yeah,
dungeon play set that was on sale somewhere. And my
yeah.
mom was like, "Here, this is like $10. Just take this." And it came with those three guys.
Well, what's
You
interesting
know,
is that what I didn't know is the Return of the Jedi white Leia, so the original Leia on the Return of the Jedi card
yeah.
is extremely rare.
Oh yeah, because everybody already had it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
they just kind of were making the other Leias,
yeah, yeah,
and but you think about it, it's like, man, it's hard to find.
yeah.
So,
There's a guy that came into the store. This was over the summer. He was on vacation with his buddy or his dad. I don't know who he was with, but um, he bought a bunch of stuff. He bought some of the stuff that I made, and he was like, "Yeah, I live in Switzerland or whatever," and uh, you know, he bought some rare things that we had. And I said, we got some other things maybe you're interested in. And he's like, well, think about it. Okay. Well, he ended up going back and he told me, he gave me his card and I followed him on Instagram and we kept in touch and he ended up buying, like, we had some parts from like a C3PO ride in Euro Disney or something. I don't even remember exactly where they came off of, but someone left them or gave them, sold them, whatever. And so we had those and I'm like, hey, I got this back. It's a C3PO back. You interested in that? Because he bought the forearm that came off of it too. And he was like, how much? Blah, blah, blah. We went back and forth. He's like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, all right. Well, like a week later, here's whatever. He's like, yeah, I'll take it. I'm like, all right. So we shipped it off to him. But because when I started following him, the point of this is his collection is insane. He has, I would say every figure. And like he has like all the vintage figures, but like the Star Wars version, the Empire version, and the Jedi version, and the Tri-Logo version, and like he'll post them on his Instagram, and I'm just like,
wait, where's he from?
he lives in Switzerland.
Okay, because you've ever seen Jeff Jacobs' collection?
I don't think so.
He's in Colorado. His collection is that, but
Yeah.
but what he not only that, he collects every single card front variation and card back variation.
Oh man.
So he'll have like 17 Lukes all on Star Wars 12 backs, but each one of them is different. The brown hair, the blonde hair, the red hair, and his collection and he only collects AFA 80 or 85 plus.
Yeah.
It's sick.
I don't know what, I don't know if this guy has anything like, I don't know if his, AFI ranges or whatever, but like he'll walk up to like his collection and he's got like store racks of like his stuff, like 3, 4, 5, 6 deep, because he'll get like 2 of whatever he buys now. And some of the stuff he bought when he was here, he was having some problems getting it back because I guess he like shipped it from a hotel or whatever, and it didn't get there across, overseas. And he was like, I got 2 boxes. I don't know. Can I have them sent to your house and you reship them? I'm like, dude, yeah, sure, whatever. That's fine. Wow. I don't know what was in there. I think he had some Hot Toys things and some other stuff.
Do you remember his Instagram?
Yeah, it is. Let me see what it is. Galaxy with an IE 1977.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah, check it out because his stuff is completely insane. Like, I like everything he posts. I hit the heart on it because everything is like, the last thing he posted was like, there's the Star Wars version of Han Solo. There's the Jedi version of Han Solo. There's another Jedi version of Han Solo. There's the Empire. He's got like everything. Oh, that one was Tusken Raider, but he's got like all the different versions of the Tusken Raider. And you look at like you can see like the sides, like he's got these all on like store racks. And these pans over is like so many things, like it's unreal.
Did he actually put the card on the rack, or is it in the
No, it's in a
case?
plastic case.
Okay.
Like all of them are in plastic cases.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, I so badly want to be like, dude, what do you do for a living? Because I need to be in that business. But
Well, honestly, like what I found is, especially with the guy Jeff Jacobs, who has the similar. You can look him up. He shows his collection off too. But a lot of them started collecting in the late '80s, early '90s, and were just 10 years ahead of the rest of us.
yeah,
And then they got really good deals
Yeah.
in the time. Well, what's his name? Gus Lopez, who owns the original Death Star. I mean, he's up in Seattle, and he back in like the late '80s or so, he took out ads in the paper and would just say, "I'll buy your Star Wars collection," and he was paying pennies on the dollar because no one was. But he was just there,
Yeah.
did it. I mean, that's how I got most of my collection too. It was just starting. When people thought paying $50, was a lot for a figure, I was like, at the time I was like, yeah, it kind of is, but I like it, And now they're 4 times that. But.
No, I mean, I never stopped looking for them. If I saw stuff, I was always buying it. But I wasn't out actively, spending my days doing that. So, if I saw stuff, I got it. But,
I have a theory that there's a warehouse similar to the Raiders of the Lost Ark that's still filled with boxes of unopened vintage Star Wars figures.
Oh, I'm sure. And you'll see them come up too. Like you'll see somebody on Facebook be like, picked up this case of, I saw someone the other day picked up a case of the Burger King glasses. Like it still said Burger King on the side of the box.
It's crazy.
Like, and I'm like, why don't I find any of this stuff? I don't find any cases of
I mean, you and Crystal had that box of the cards.
Oh yeah, those came in, but someone brought those in. They.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount that they sold them for was a fraction of what they're worth. So
Yeah.
Again, like people don't know or whatever, but yeah, no, it's nuts. Yeah, no, maybe maybe need to do like the Storage Wars thing and just buy up storage bins and see. Maybe one day you get a case of Children's Palace, Toys R Us figures from 1984 or whatever. But
or it's gonna be someone like me who dies, and then my wife just sells them all for like
doesn't know.
$10 a piece.
She's like, whatever, get them out of here.
Yeah, just get them out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I found a bunch of stuff at an estate sale like that. I think I talked about it on here. When I lived in Memphis, we used to go to estate sales, and one of them happened to be just this couple. I don't know if they died or moved or whatever, and the basement was just this giant tables of 80s toys just loose. But I mean, I was like, I'm trying to, how much money do I have? You can borrow some money. Who do I know? It wasn't, some of it was Star Wars. I got the Jawa playset and like the kid with the cardboard.
Oh, that's cool.
And maybe a few other Star Wars ones, but I also got like, Mark with his egg. I got Chips figures. I got Smokey the Bandit action figures and the Trans Am. I got like the 12-inch Mr. T doll and the Migo Fonzie with the thumbs where you like hit the thing in his back and he does the thumbs up.
That's cool.
I mean, just a lot of stuff like that. But I was also like, some of these things I didn't even know they existed, like Chips figures and whatever,
Yeah, I think those were by Migo or.
Yeah, I think they were Migo. Yeah.
Yeah, because they also did the
Dukes of Hazzard.
Well, Dukes of Hazzard, the Love Boat.
Oh, I don't see again. I didn't even know they did those.
Yeah, they have Love Boat figures.
That I gotta find.
Yeah, they're actually not those in MASH. They did MASH figures.
Oh wow, MASH, because that's what kids like. MASH.
Yeah, well, I watched that show with my dad, but I never would play it. Yeah, I'd play Chips.
No, Chips.
Like,
you would be the cop. Sure, fine, that's fine.
I want to be the alcoholic Hawkeye.
Right.
That's why.
I never understood that show anyway, because I'm like, this is like a serious show, but they've got a laugh track on it. I don't even know what's going on. Like, why is this show so? Why is this a comedy? It seems terrible. I never understood it.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, and then
I never saw the movie. So I was like, I only knew the TV show, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this.
Yeah.
My
Well, everyone
parents
thought it
loved
was Vietnam, but it was actually the Korean War. And
Right. Yeah. No, it wasn't even the movie. There wasn't even the war I thought it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I didn't understand that show. I didn't understand Hogan's Heroes because I thought they were all the same side, but then they weren't. And I'm like, they're getting away with all this stuff. Like, I don't even know what's going on here. Like, I didn't understand that as a kid either. I didn't understand any of those war movies.
I was fortunate my dad watched those, but then he would explain what was going on.
No, my parents would watch MASH. That was a big deal. They would watch. I'm trying to think what else they would watch. They were big. Like, that was the era where like miniseries were kind of a big thing too.
Yeah.
Like a week long of like the Thornbirds. I remember my mom watching the Thornbirds.
Well, that would also suck when the Olympics would come on, and that's the only thing on TV for 6
for
days.
2 weeks. Yeah. No, that was terrible. Yeah. I remember I wanted to watch V all the time.
Oh yeah.
And my parents were like, you got to go to bed. And I'm like, do you think this show will still be on when I turn 18? My parents were like, I don't know. My dad was like, I don't know. Gunsmoke was on forever. I'm like, okay.
Well, did you ever go back and watch it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody sent me, one of my friends had all of the episodes on VHS. And one day a box showed up at my house with all of the, like I don't know, she bought them somewhere. They weren't even like just taped off TV. They were like legit VHS collection. And I watched a lot of them.
That was Robert Englund's debut role. Yeah.
Oh, was it? That was even before Friday the 13th?
Yeah, for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street, rather. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I remember he was Willie.
Yes. Yeah. He was the traitor.
Right. Yeah, we used to play that on the playground, I remember.
I always liked the blaster. The blaster from that.
The blaster was cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
And the ships were kind of cool.
Which they actually made, or so they used that blaster in a toy. It's a Robotech. It's called the Robotech Blaster or something. So it's Robotech, but it's one of those things that it kind of comes in multiple parts. It comes with the blaster, then like there's a stock and a laser sight for it, and then it transforms into a rifle.
Oh, I kind of remember that. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
I remember those like shuttles were kind of cool too. That they had.
Yeah, the shuttles were cool.
I remember like trying to play that when I was a kid, and kind of have to come up with action figures from other action figures. But yeah, and then they remade that later, and
did they?
But yeah, they remade it like in the maybe mid 2000s or something in there.
Huh.
Yeah, they remade it with one of those chicks from Lost. She was in it, and I forget who the guy was. What's his name? Michael Donovan was in it though. That guy was in it.
That is like a
Mark
cameo?
Singer. Mark Singer was in it for
Mark Singer, yeah.
Yeah, he was in it. Because I remember I went to WonderCon when it was still in San Francisco. That was the first con I went to, I think. Well, it was maybe not the first con, but
that's funny.
Right before it moved, I went to that WonderCon when I lived up there, and he was there. I got a picture of him and that chick from Lost who was in it.
Well, that's interesting because the first time I ever saw someone cosplaying was in Vegas when I was probably like 12 or 13, and they were it was a V convention, or it might have been a Star Trek convention, but there was V people. They're dressed in the V costumes. And I thought that was the coolest thing. I was like, "What? Those are, someone made."
No, those were cool. I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen a few times. Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy Jason Reese. That's a guy I've known since high school. He's in the chat room. He's talking about Magnum PI. Did they make figures for that?
Yeah. So those are super rare. I don't know if it was Mego or if it was LJN or something like that, but they made the Ferrari and then Magnum. Yeah. And I think if you get it mint in the box, it's like $4,000, $5,000.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Seems like a Mego thing. Mego made a bunch of stuff. I have a Boss Hog downstairs, but they made those Duke boys with all kinds of like G.I. Joe articulation. Right. Basically built like G.I. Joes. And then there was like Boss Hog and Daisy and maybe a Roscoe or a Cletus or something. But like,
I think it was Roscoe.
They were like, they didn't have any articulation. They were just like plastic. I don't know. If
were they 5 PFA?
What's that?
Could they move their arms? And
you move their arms, but they didn't have like the joints. They didn't have all the same thing that the Duke boys had. And I don't know if they were a completely different company, which is possible. Might have been Magoo or something. I don't know. But like,
Because they only
weren't
made
really
the
any.
General Lee. I don't think did they make the
No,
like the Jeep or anything
I don't
or
think so. I had a Jeep that might have just been a Jeep
yeah,
from whatever generic Jeep. I had the General Lee with that flip top, so you could put the guys in
that's
there.
right. Yep.
I have one downstairs too, but it doesn't have the flag on the
Well,
top.
I wonder if they had to make Bo and Duke with articulation so they could sit in the
Maybe.
General Lee, but then the other ones were like,
Well, whatever, just to have them stand around.
yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, Boss Hog had like a molded cigar in his fingers, and he came with like a top hat, which everybody lost. So there was, there was that. I might still have my original one at my parents' house. I suspect I may have turned him into the Penguin at some point and repainted his suit because I did a lot of that in the 90s when I started getting comic books. I was customizing a lot of my old toys.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I never messed with the Star Wars and I never messed with the G.I. Joes. Oh, no, I did mess with the G.I. Joes a little bit, but
like these are not going to be worth anything.
yeah, I didn't. So, like, yeah, most of my Silverhawks got repaints into Marvel characters, which sucks. Yeah, I wonder if I can.
You can't strip it because they're back metalized.
It depends on what kind of paint I use. I don't even know.
Yeah.
If I use like model paint, they're probably never going to come off of there. But yeah, the Copper Kid is still as Copper Kid because he was.
Kid, yeah.
Who else was he going to be?
Yeah,
I think.
A freak.
I think. Yeah, I think. What was the main dude? The silver, the big bulky dude.
Oh yeah, I don't remember their names.
I don't remember the names either.
I didn't even know the premise of that show until like I was watching Retro Blasting's breakdown of it.
Yeah.
Do you know it's like they're like humans that volunteered to have parts molded.
Oh no, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, so like that's the whole thing is like when they talk about it, and I had no idea it was like that either until you should watch the Retro Blasting's episode on it. It's creepy. Like they're like
no, I just always thought it was just like they existed. Here's your show.
No,
like,
no, yeah.
Well, you watch like the first episode of Thundercats, the same thing. Like they become the like these cat things, and they have they're like naked, kind of in the thing. When you're like, and then you realize like the clothes don't make any sense because it's like a leotard that turns into their skin, kind of, and it's weird. Like the whole thing is weird. If you watch like the first couple episodes of that. It's also weird. I've recently watched that. And I was like, this is kind of strange now that I watch it. But as a kid, you're like, whatever. Yeah, as a kid, you're like, I'll accept whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, so yeah, I think whatever that Blue Streak or whatever his name was, the main guy became like Colossus or something, and I think the chick that Silverhawk became Catwoman at one point. She got painted black.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of those
because they're a little bit taller scale than the other ones, weren't they?
Yeah, they were a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Than like your G.I. Joes and Star Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
And Cops was another. Remember Cops?
Cops, yep.
I had a few of those. I remember for Christmas I got a bunch of Cops figures, and I was about that age where I was kind of like,
yeah,
I want toys. And I remember thinking like, I don't really want these, and I gave them back. My like grandma took them back to the store or whatever and gave me the money. I don't remember. Now I'm kind of like, I wish I kept those.
Yeah, I remember seeing Cops at KB on clearance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the clearance toys that you always saw kind of egg warming for.
I have like one Cops figure, I think, and like his car.
Your buddy Lenny said mask.
Mask, yeah, I still have some mask stuff. Those were cool.
Those were cool. Just the scale was off because you couldn't use it with like
anything else.
Star Wars.
Yeah, those were little. Starcom, I had some of those towards the end.
Starcom, yeah.
End of my like kind of kid years.
Was Starcom the one that would interact with the TV?
No, they had magnets on their feet.
Okay, yeah.
They were little. They were like mask size, maybe a little bit smaller even. Right. And they had magnets on their feet, and the toys, like the vehicles, were like they worked on like a gear spring system where like you could put them together, and then hit a button, they like expand into other vehicles, kind of. And they kind of worked like that. So they didn't take batteries; they were just kind of you'd fold them up and they'd be like,
Okay.
one vehicle, and then you hit the little button and they'd expand into like a
Mm.
bigger vehicle or something else. I had a lot of those, but I got rid of most of them, I think, in a garage sale one time. That was, like I said, that was kind of towards the end of my, child playing with toys years, before I didn't know what I was doing, and then was like, oh, I like
playing with
toys
yourself.
anyway, and it's okay to buy toys as an adult. So yeah, it was like there was like that 3 or 4 year span in there where I didn't.
Yeah, but
collect
you still have
toys.
some of your stuff that you had as a kid.
Yeah. I never got rid of my Transformers or my Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll still find some things. Like I have the little die-cast Willow figures.
Oh yeah, I
they
never
didn't move. They were just little, like Willow with his stick and Mad Mardigan just standing there.
Are they kind of like the micro collection from Star Wars?
They're a little bigger than that. They're about,
Okay.
3. Well, Willow was about maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and then Mad Mardigan was a little bigger. But they were just static, like kind of little metal figures. I'll go home and go through boxes, and I'll find, some of that stuff every once in a while, and be like, oh yeah,
That's
that's it.
cool.
But,
Well, yeah, and your buddy Jason Reese says D&D figures.
I never had any of that.
So I had the D&D figures. I had like 4 of them, but the problem was, at the time they had the cartoon, the Saturday morning cartoon out, which was cool, but they never made figures for it. But then you had the regular, just you played D&D. You had the cartoon that was like really didn't have much to do with the actual playing of the game. But then they made these figures that had more to do with the actual game, but you couldn't. It had nothing to do with the cartoon, and the cartoon was really like it was a great cartoon, but the figures were, and they were, the scale of them were a little bit larger than Star Wars. They were like 4 to 5 inches versus the 3 3/4.
Yeah.
And they only made like, I don't know, 6 or 7 characters or something like that.
Oh
but, yeah.
No, I never had any of that. I didn't get into that too much.
And they're expensive now.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I had a lot of Smurfs.
Yep. Me too. Yeah.
I still have a box of those at home. My mom will
that was the kind of thing. Go ahead.
My mom will still go through them and like pick out the holiday ones for like different times of year and put them up on the on somewhere in the house. It's pretty funny. I'm like, I'll come home and like there's Smurfs in the kitchen.
Yeah, that was the thing where like, because they were always like just in a big bin. I don't know how, and then you just kind of pick through and try to find the one we didn't have.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's tons of them. Snorks. Yeah.
Snorks. Yeah.
Snorks. Wuzzles. Remember Wuzzles?
What were the Wuzzles?
They were like a like mashup of 2 animals.
Oh yeah. I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, they were like all kind of on that Saturday morning schedule.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I found a box of just those little, plastic toys like the Smurfs in the back of the store. It was like there was a couple Snorks in there. There were like those little Miss figures in there, and like a couple of like Noids.
Noids.
They were the same thing. They're like that rubber plastic kind of same kind of thing. I'm trying to think what else was in there. Just some random like 80s characters. I don't know. Yeah.
That's a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll forget what I had, and then I'll just do like a random search for like 1980s toys or 1970s toys. And then you'll see something pop up, and you're like, "Oh my god, I totally forgot about that."
Yeah, it'll just trigger something in your head. And you're like, "Oh yeah, that. I remember that."
Yeah, one of them was a these cap guns that they made back in the day. They looked realistic. They were from Edison Giacatoli. There was a Italian company, and he made these. They made these really great cap guns, and in the 80s. And I was just like, I totally forgot about it until one day I was like looking through. And I was like, wait, oh crap! I just totally forgot about that.
Can't even like sell cap guns anymore.
No.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of cap guns. We always had cap guns.
Oh yeah.
We get like caps for 4th of July or whatever. Just like hammer them out, even if we didn't have the gun. Yeah, just pound them out. Yeah, well, yeah.
you can still smell it in your.
Yeah, I can smell it right now. That like sulfur.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, I think we're good.
Yeah, we put in a good hour, so
running out of things. Yeah, so we'll be at Rogue Toys will be at Amazing Con in Las Vegas if you're in Las Vegas this weekend, starting tomorrow. I think it opens at 3 p.m. Then goes all weekend. I don't know. Do you have anything to plug?
no.
All right, fair enough.
I'm good. Sorry,
All right.
I apologize for everybody who was expecting Crystal and got me. So
Yeah, she was home for a minute and then ran back out. So yeah, I was hoping she'd pop back in, but she didn't. So hopefully next week. I don't think we have any cons next week. Yeah, it's been crazy. So past 3 weeks, just one of us or both of us have been out of town, and it's been nuts. So thanks, Jason. Thanks for stopping in. Good to see your name again. Been a while. Jason and I we were like best friends in junior high, and we used to make up fake bands. We had fake bands, and then we'd make up fake albums and fake songs, and
nice.
we would make up like top 10 lists and give them to girls to try to be funny. That's what we did. Oh man, but yeah, that's cool. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for this week. Brad, thanks for joining us. And,
yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Have you on again, I'm sure. It's good. Always good to see you. And
You too, man.
I was glad to stop by and see your place.
Yeah. Well, it's not the last time you guys will.
No, I'll be out there again. Not that far away. So, all right. Till next week. See ya.